welcome to the briefing room. I'm Madhavdas G. The Gen Z-led student protests are still fresh in our minds. But leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi has now cited this example to give a rallying call to the OBC community. Speaking at an OBC department program, Rahul Gandhi launched a fresh attack on the Modi government over the caste census issue. Rahul Gandhi has questioned what would happen if the OBC community also took to the streets in a Gen Z-style movement. He has claimed that the government never wanted to implement the caste census in the first place and ultimately went ahead with it solely due to the pressure of the Congress party and the rest of the opposition. He's further stated that the government has failed to ensure proper representation of OBCs with the caste census process. Rahul warned that given the size of the OBC population, a mass movement could put the government under significant public pressure. Other opposition leaders soon rallied behind the Congress member of parliament.
आज इस देश में अगर सबसे बड़ी किसी की अगर आबादी है तो ओबीसी की है, क्योंकि ओबीसी हिंदू भी है, मुसलमान भी है। ये जानबूझ के सरकार के द्वारा किया गया है, उसका कारण तो वही जानते होंगे, लेकिन हकीकत ये है कि एक तरह से ओबीसी को उनको नज़रअंदाज करने की कोशिश है जनगणना में। तो इसको लेकर तो विरोध होगा ही, सब लोग विरोध करेंगे, ओबीसी के लोग भी विरोध करेंगे।
Many of our presidents say that Narendra Modi ji has succumbed to the demand of Gen Z. What if we come on the streets, because this is a very sentimental issue for OBCs. Then he just acted, if you people will come on the street, it will be a very big moment. This is what he said.
इस देश के पीढ़ित समाज को बिना लड़े ना उनका हक मिलेगा ना अधिकार मिलेगा। निश्चित तौर पे कांग्रेस अगर ये बात कह रही कि पिछड़ों को भी लड़ना चाहिए, तो लड़ाई सबको लड़नी पड़ेगी, चाहे वो दलित हो, पिछड़ा हो, अल्पसंख्यक हो। ये सरकार डकैत के रूप में काम कर रही है।
Now, viewers, one cannot ignore the significance of the OBC vote. Remember, there are at least 6 states that are going to polls in 2026, and some of these states have a significant share of OBC voters. Here's what we're talking about. The first is Punjab. The number or the percentage of OBC voters here is 32%. Huge number over here in Punjab. In UP, it's even higher at 39 to 40%. So for Uttar Pradesh, this vote could be make or break, as we all know. In Gujarat, still higher at 49%. So 49% of the voters in Gujarat who are from the OBC background. In Uttarakhand, it is a bit less compared to other states, of course, far less at about 5%. There's also, of course, the state of Himachal Pradesh, which is going to polls, where it is 13.5%. That's, of course, there. And, of course, there's also the state of Goa that is going to polls. Here, the percentage of OBC voters is 27%. So this is significant, and this shows you why this is so important, but not just for the 2027 battle, also in terms of the larger national picture. No wonder then that Rahul Gandhi is making a fresh pitch to OBCs. One of the states that Congress will be watching very closely will, of course, be of Uttar Pradesh, where the party has not fared too well in the last few elections. In 2022, the Congress only managed to win 2 of the 403 seats, which is why 40% of the OBC population will be on Congress and Rahul Gandhi's radar. However, the BJP was quick to hit back at the Congress leader. The BJP's OBC unit chief claimed that the party never thought about the OBCs over the last 60 years. Further, he's accused the Congress of exploiting the OBC community for all these years. Others in the BJP have also accused Rahul Gandhi of citing the Gen Z protests to create an atmosphere of instability.
मैं इन कांग्रेसियों से सवाल पूछना चाहता हूं कि जब वो 64 साल तक एक परिवार की सत्ता जब उनके घर में थी, तब ओबीसी याद नहीं आया, न इनके पूरे खानदान को आया। शर्म आनी चाहिए इन कांग्रेसियों को ओबीसी पे बात करने के लिए। जब इनको करना था, तब जो है वो शोषण करते रहे।
But ladies and gentlemen, here's where things get interesting. The last time a census was conducted in India was all the way back in 2011. Almost 15 years ago. Back then, the UPA was in power in their second term. Back in 2011, the caste census form did not have a separate column for the OBCs. So let's compare the two forms. one that was put out by the UPA government in 2011, and one that is now being put out by the NDA government in 2026. In the 2011 Congress's census, the religion, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, etc. were the columns that were put out in the 2011 census during the Congress or the UPA regime. And those are the things that you can see, the categories that are specifically being asked. No other caste, etc. was specifically asked or was expected to be provided. Now, what are we looking at in terms of the census under the BJP? Let's take a look at what all has been asked for. Religion, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and of course other caste and details which have also been sought. If we can quickly bring in what is there, you can see at the bottom of your screen as far as the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and the third category of caste is concerned. This is the new addition, and that is what is causing the huge amount of controversy as far as this entire issue is concerned. Meanwhile, others in the NDA have accused Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party of prioritizing appeasement over empowerment of the backward communities. Let me quickly introduce our panelists now joining us. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, is with us. Sujata Pandey, political analyst, joins us. Anish Gawande, NCP SP national spokesperson, is with us. But my first question is to Arshpreet Khadial, who's of the Congress party. Thanks so much for joining us this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ashdeep, my first question to you. The statement of Rahul Gandhi, where he's taking a leaf out of the book of the Gen Z protests and talking about the OBCs hitting the streets. The BJP says this is nothing short of incitement. Your response?
Well, if the Bharatiya Janata Party wants to call it incitement, when we talk of the rights of OBCs, when we talk of the representation, when we talk of our priority, which is the OBCs, the Bharatiya Janata Party wants to call it incitement. This goes on to suggest how much nafrat they have. This goes on to suggest how much hatred the Bharatiya Janata Party is carrying towards the OBCs, because number one, it's been 12 long years and the OBCs are still awaiting requisite, what are the numbers so that the requisite representation could be given to them. According to them, the Bharatiya Janata Party in the first place was showing reluctance and hesitation when it came to the caste census. The Bharatiya Janata Party was reluctant initially, and when the protests happened, when the resentment had to be faced by the Bharatiya Janata Party, that is when they made a U-turn on it. Number three, unlike the SC/ST separate provisions, why are there none for the OBCs? Number four, the Bharatiya Janata Party, please ought to tell us, why are you undermining the OBCs of the country since the last 12 years? I'll give you an example, because actions are louder than words.
Now, where have they undermined the OBCs, and which protest are you referring to for OBCs?
Just one second. Just one line. The Bharatiya Janata, I was saying that the actions are louder than words. Talk of these secretaries, qua the government. How many OBC secretaries does the Bharatiya Janata Party center government have? Bare minimum. It is
how many general secretaries of Congress are from OBC community, sir?
I'm not talking about...
No, how many general secretaries? Charity begins at home. How many general secretaries of your party are from the OBC community?
My request is, are you justifying it?
No, my question to you is, what are you practicing, what you are preaching?
Are you trying to justify that there are minimal secretaries that are OBC in the government?
Arshpreet, charity begins at home. There are questions that the other side will answer. Since you are holding the other side to a higher moral ground, is the Congress party implementing? My simple question to you is the Congress party implementing what you are expecting the BJP to do?
To the OBCs, my request is, why does the Bharatiya Janata Party...
This is not a monologue. Ashdeep, this is a debate. This is not a monologue. Are you going to answer that question, or should I move on to another panelist?
That's what I'm saying. Would you not allow me to complete?
No, I will not allow you to complete. This is not a monologue. I have asked you the question thrice. You're not answering. For 4 minutes, you are the only one speaking. And this is not a monologue. This is a debate. So please let me get in the other side now. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, the government at the centre has not done justice to OBCs. Their representation has not been given. And it has even resisted in the past when a caste census had to be brought in. Your response to Arshdeep?
No, good evening, Madhav, and good evening to my fellow panelists. I would not speak as a response to the valued Arshpreet G, whom I respect. But I suspect he believes that the rest of India, other than his Lutyens zone, doesn't get internet. How else can you explain that he does not believe that all of us also know contemporary Indian history? All of us know that under the UPA, when there were 33% OBC population, not more than 2.9% secretaries under the UPA were actually from the OBC. Maybe he doesn't want us to tell to public that the Congress at the center conducted a caste census, did not make it public. Maybe he doesn't want the world to understand and demand from the Congress, why didn't it make it public? Maybe he believes that we don't get internet, so we won't know that Karnataka government conducted a caste census, did not make it public.
No.
Why? Maybe he doesn't want the world to know that it was actually a non-Congress government that implemented the Mandal Commission, that commissioned it. Maybe he doesn't want the world to know that Jawaharlal Nehru said, and I quote, I am against any kinds of caste reservation because they promote the second and the third rate. अगर इतनी हिम्मत है तो अर्जीब से कहिए चाचा को नकार दें, वो भी नहीं करना, ये भी कहना है कि हम सब सच बोल रहे हैं, और ये भी कहना है कि आप लोगों को हिस्ट्री पता नहीं है, आप क्या करें? The fact of the matter is that if there is any party that has removed the justifiable share, if at all, from the OBC, it is the Congress. How else do you explain that 4% blanket Muslim quota has been extracted from the OBC? In Karnataka, it's been ratified again. Is that fair to the rest of the OBC community, I ask? It is high time that the C in OBC should be changed from class to caste, because it is a backdoor entry by people like Congress to give it to minorities for appeasement.
But, Dr. Ranganathan, I have to ask you this question. And it is a fact that in the, earlier years in the Supreme Court affidavit, the government spoke against putting out a caste census. But finally, they succumbed to that pressure several years later. So the government has also done a volte-face on its own position when it comes to the issue of caste census.
Absolutely 100%. And that is wrong. And I'm the one who condemned BJP the first day when they said it should not be conducted. I was for conducting the survey for the simple reason that unless you know what is the proportion of the OBC or the SCs or the ST, how on earth can you dole out the reservations? You need to know what exactly you need to dole out. For that, you know the exact percentage.
Ashpreet, your response to that. He says your argument about representation of OBCs among secretaries is disingenuous because there was low representation even among the UPA regime. And point number two, he's referring to the minority appeasement in the form of OBCs that are there and their representation in several states under the Congress various regimes. Your response to that?
Well, the fact of the matter is that in a democracy, one, the questions are put to the government, and the Bharatiya Janata Party's government cannot justify what they are doing to the OBCs. Let me clarify one thing and let me make it crystal clear. The RSS, the ideology of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Mr. Manmohan Vaidya, what did he say? In an interview to Panchanya and organizer, he said it categorically that reservation needs to be reviewed. RSS publicity chief Manmohan Vaidya Ji, he said reservation is against the principle of equality. RSS, Mr. Golwalkar Ji, he opposed reservation on the basis of caste. He opposed reservation on the basis of caste.
Is Mr. Vaidya with the RSS anymore?
I quoted Jawaharlal Nehru.
One second.
No, please, 1 second.
No, he's quoted Nehru to say pretty much the same.
Please, my request is, UGC under the Bharatiya Janata Party government had proposed that vacancies that are reserved for the OBC candidates should also be declared unreserved. My request to the Bharatiya Janata Party is you will not be forgiven and forgotten for this, for what you are doing to the OBCs. And number two, if there is a BJP spokesperson sitting here, he ought to apologize for speaking for his ideology, for his RSS leaders speaking against reservation. They need reservation. They need to be empowered. And you are saying
so who has spoken against reservation? Apart from Manmohan Vaidya, who's no longer with the RSS, I don't know if you heard Mohan Bhagwat recently. He said reservation is here to stay.
My request is, please, 1 second. In the interview, he categorically said, Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, that the reservation ought to be reviewed.
He said it should be done as per the vision of B.R. Ambedkar. That's what he said. No, he did not say it has to be reviewed. It should be looked at from the lens of B.R. Ambedkar. Let's not mince words. Let's quote exactly as things have been stated. But Dr. Ranganathan, the two questions that he has raised, your response.
No, I knew Ashpreet wouldn't answer, but I just want to, he is condemning RSS for saying reservation should be reviewed. Does he condemn Jawaharlal Nehru for saying he's against caste-based reservations? Yes or no? हिम्मत है तो कह दो चाचा नेहरू वाज रॉन्ग प्लीज अश्प्रीत
अगर आप में हिम्मत है तो आप कह दीजिए कि मोहन भगवत साहब ने गलत कहा
नहीं वो ठीक कहा वो तो ठीक कहा आप बताइए ना मैं तो कह रहा हूं उन्होंने ठीक कहा रिजर्वेशन शुड बी रिव्यूड बिकॉज़ अम्बेडकर वांटेड देम रिव्यूड
वुड यू अपोलोजाइज ऑन हिज बिहाफ for what he said in his book, Vicharadhan, is reservation against the principle of equality. Is reservation against the principle of equality?
Will he answer whether Jawaharlal Nehru was wrong or right?
Ashpreet, he's asking you a specific question. Let's debate in a civil manner. There are two other panelists left.
And so am I. Am I not asking a very simple and a very clear question?
I will answer the question if you answer
so
my
ask those questions. Nobody's stopping you from asking questions, but there is a manner in which he is asking you a question. Do you want to respond to what he specifically stated? He asked you a question on Pandit Nehru.
My request is, one, we should lead by example. Second, the people that have categorically said that reservation is against the principle of equality ought to be condemned. Mr. Ranganathan may please say that I condemn that. Second, he may please apologize on behalf of that statement, on behalf of that person. If he agrees with what he said, if he agrees with what he said,
I really admire
Ashpreet, you can't have it your way, and you can't have your cake and eat it too. You refuse to condemn the statements that are associated with your party or your leaders. You want everyone else to condemn it. I haven't seen this is highly hypocritical. But anyway, Dr. Ranganathan, quick response, and then I go across to others.
No, and this is the reason why Ashpreet will go really far in the Congress, because he is absolute genius at this. I asked him a simple question. Jawaharlal Nehru said, I dislike caste-based reservation. They promote the second rate. Ashpreet doesn't have the guts to condemn it. I am supportive of Dr. Ambedkar and the RSS when both of them say that reservations must be reviewed. Of course they must be. Why shouldn't they? Dr. Ambedkar wanted political reservation only for 10 years. Are you going to say that we worship Ambedkar but won't follow him? Shame on you, Ashpreet and Congress. You don't want to follow Ambedkar.
All right. Let me bring in Anish Gawande and Sujata Pandey on this. Anish Gawande, I want you to come in on this. The point being made over here with BJP is that we have done a lot for the OBCs. They say that we have given constitutional status to the OBC Commission, which was constituted, of course, earlier under the Congress regime. A lot that has been done for OBC community. And, of course, they have also cited, that their own leader, the Prime Minister, hails from this community. Anish.
Madhav, to start off with, I want to say that when we talk about caste, we must not sensationalize. So I'm going to avoid doing that here. To begin with, on history, Baba Sahib Ambedkar said that reservation should come into force for 10 years and then be reviewed. If they have served their purpose, then they no longer need to exist. Have we achieved a casteless society today? Have we achieved true equality today? No, which is why they continue to be reviewed and accepted as valid even today. Jawaharlal Nehru's words, also taken a little out of context by Anand Ranganathan Ji, my very dear friend, but I will say this, they deserve to be condemned. Even if you support Nehru, you can disagree with what he said. And you can say that on the matter of reservations, perhaps Pandit Nehru was wrong. On the third question, on the question of which government has done how much for OBCs, I think that no government has done enough for any caste group in this country. There is always scope for improvement. So this government deserves to be criticized for its record on OBCs. In a state like Maharashtra, it certainly has been criticized for its record on OBCs. Now, that is a matter of valid critique. Am I saying that my government should not be criticized on the grounds of whether we did enough for OBCs? Of course we should.
Right.
But that remains a continuous critique. You cannot say that the government has not done enough or done enough, because that has been a continuous process. And the final point here is very important. What you must understand from Rahul Gandhi's statement is that if people with a valid cause come out onto the streets, and I'm certainly hoping this is what he meant, then they should be heard regardless of what caste they come from. The students at Jantar Mantar were Dalit, they were OBC, they came from all caste groups, they were upper caste.
No, but if that is indeed the case, I don't know where you're getting the data for Jantar Mantar. I certainly don't know where that data would be from. But I can certainly say that if that was indeed the case, Anish, why is it that his party's OBC chief leader comes out and backtracks, says that that was not what Rahul Gandhi said. That was what someone from the audience said.
My point, Madhav, is very simple. That any agitationary politics must not be based on identity but on demand. If there is a demand from a particular identity for justice, then that's a demand. You cannot stage an identity-based dharna without a specific demand.
But you just invoked the Dalit and OBC identities while you were speaking just now. If that is not about identity, and when you're talking about Jantar Mantar, so the same yardstick has to be applied uniformly, Anish.
No, but I'm saying, Madhav, in any protest, when it comes to a legitimate demand, there is representation across castes. So I don't think it necessarily should be determined that only a particular caste community can ask for.
So why are you invoking those communities? That's exactly my point. Say all youth were there. Why are you
All
trying to
groups
look
were
at
there.
it from the narrow prism of upper caste, lower caste, OBC, so on and so forth?
Facetious. I'm saying all groups were there. I'm saying every single group was there.
Now you're saying that. Now you've done a 180-degree somersault on national television. Now earlier you said that people from certain communities were there. Now after I have questioned you, you're saying everybody was there. Why not say this in the first place?
I listed off every single community.
Wonderful. No, sorry sir. No, sorry, you did not. And let me ask you a simple question. Anish Gawande, what about the creamy layer? Do you think the creamy layer should be removed from this reservation or not?
We have consistently believed, and Supriyata has said this in Parliament, that we must have a comprehensive discussion on all forms of reservation, including creamy layer, through a joint parliamentary committee and then a discussion.
That's neither here nor there,
I
sir.
can't take that decision. Madhav, who am I as a political party to take that
You're
decision?
the spokesperson of a party, of a big regional party that's been in power for multiple terms for decades in a big state like Maharashtra. Your presence across the country, your party had the national party status. Your party has enjoyed several important cabinet portfolios at the central level. Surely your party has a view.
Every single political party on this, Madhav, has only one single view. Ask the BJP if they have a view on creamy layer. They will say that we must discuss and debate with other parties. That's the only valid answer.
BJP actually, the centre has actually told the Supreme Court it's not possible. Actually, the BJP has told the Supreme Court it's not possible. Will opposition parties take a stance is a question. But let me bring in Sujata Pandey. Sujata Pandey, why, this hypocrisy when it comes to creamy layer? There are those who are economically well-to-do, but they continue to enjoy benefits of reservation. That's one question that comes to mind. And also, can you really criticize the opposition parties when this is what the Prime Minister has said in February 2024? मैं हैरान हूं कि उनको सबसे बड़ा OBC नजर नहीं आता. कहां आंखें बंद करके बैठ जाते हैं. So BJP's own leaders are saying this. On what basis can you accuse Rahul Gandhi or Congress Party of politicization of OBCs?
No, nobody's accusing. I'm just saying that if Congress Party was a mobile version, it would be Hypocrisy Pro Max. Because, Anand Raghunathan rightly put out the history of it. Nehru said, reject the reservation. Rajiv Gandhi himself said, Mandal Commission, that will be promoting idiots in place of the merit. Then comes the Rohini Commission report, which says that because of the Congress Party being in the cabinet for 64 years, only 97% of the creamy layer gets all the benefit of the 27% reservation. And then Rahul Gandhi goes mum about it because Samajwadi Party will not agree because their core vote, the Yadav, is the main beneficiary of this 27% vote and the other 27% reservation, and the others don't get anything. No party is ready to speak. But then let's call out the hypocrisy because that is important. In Karnataka and in Himachal and in other places and in Kerala, 4 CMs of Congress, none of them are OBC. Why the Congress cannot make an OBC CM? Because there the politics doesn't suit it. They did a whole caste census in Karnataka, but they could not release the entire thing because Vokalinga stood against it. Rahul Gandhi is a person who changes the flavor, like an ice cream flavor, one season for Gen Z.
Ashdeep, respond to that. Okay, since it's a point that you raised, let Ashdeep respond to that. None of your chief ministers are OBCs. Caste census conducted at the central level, at Karnataka level, and at the level of Telangana, none of them implemented. Why?
One fact of the matter is that nobody can give a clean chit to the Bharatiya Janata Party by
first talk about Congress, sir. The question is about Congress. You can't do a U-turn on everything. Come on. Whataboutery, Ashdeep, come on. Ashdeep, whataboutery is okay to an extent. The question specifically asked you on Karnataka, Telangana, Centre. Respond.
My fellow panelists got the time. Allow me the time as well, like my fellow panelists got it.
No, you have answered the most amount. You have taken more than any other panelist put together.
I have been interrupted. Please allow me the time.
No, I'm not interrupting you. I'm asking you to answer the question. Answer the question. I have specifically asked others to answer the question as well.
There is an inordinate delay. 1 second, please. Here I'm talking about 2026 and you do not want to talk about it. You do not want to talk about reservations.
So answer, sir, answer. Which year is Revant Reddy, DK Shiv Kumar, all your other chief ministers, which year are they chief ministers? Please tell me. Your current chief ministers, how many OBCs are they? Answer the question.
Clean chit to the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Nobody is giving any clean chit to anyone. Answer for your party which is raising this issue.
1 second. If you will not allow me to complete, I will not be able to stay on because you would have to.
Okay, forget chief ministers. Tell me how many state ministers you have OBCs.
In 12 years of the Bharatiya Janata Party's government,
what have you done, sir?
Not been able to ensure proper enumeration and proper representation to the OBCs.
All right. Let us assume, let us take for argument's sake everything BJP has done is wrong. What has Congress done? Please tell me what has Congress done for OBCs?
Why did it happen?
What has Congress done?
Why
You have
did it
done the
have to
survey in
take 12 long
Karnataka,
years
you have
for
done a
Bharatiya
survey in
Janata Party?
Telangana, and both it's not implemented.
Why did it have to take 12 long years for the Bharatiya Janata Party to even consider this?
Ashpreet, the point is, you cannot have a debate like this. Debates are not monologues. I don't know where you've got your idea for debates from, but there has to be question and answer, and there has to be a reasonable sense of what you're responding to. What about is okay to an extent, but not this. Anand, I want you to respond to the specific points that he's been raised. He says that the government has done nothing for 12 long years for OBCs. Of course, not answering his own questions, but what about the BJP itself?
No, look, the BJP has done, and this is where, I need to, please give me a minute, because the only entity that needs to be congratulated right now, Madhav, is you, your channel, you specifically, and Pranesh and other anchors who are actually talking this issue and taking it mainstream. So thank you. And there is a reason why I absolutely adore Anish Gawande. Teda hai par mera hai. He said the right thing. He said that every political party is on the same plane. He's absolutely right. Every political party is crouched in cowardice. They don't have the guts to say who is right, who is wrong. He said Ambedkar was right. I agree with him. But then he said Nehru was wrong. I disagree. Perhaps the only time I believe Nehru was right, when he said factually that if you give quotas, you compromise on merit. And so you forsake first rate. What is wrong in that? That is scientifically correct. And I'll tell you, just give me 30 seconds. You see, when it comes to politicians themselves, they always never ever forsake merit. Shall I give you an example? 33% reservation for women in parliament. What have they done? They didn't give it 33% on 543 seats. They increased the number of seats to 810, then implemented 33% so that the unreserved seats came to exactly 543.
Exactly.
If they can do it for their seats, why can't they do it for everyone? Nehru and Ambedkar both were right on this.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Dr. Raghunathan, as well as Sujata Pandey, Anish Gawande, Ashpreet Khadial. To thank all of you for joining us. Suspect we haven't heard the last word yet, because it's not just about next year's assembly elections. All of this has a huge bearing on the next Lok Sabha elections as well. Which way will the OBCs vote is going to be a prime consideration and calculation as far as the BJP, the Congress, and all their allies is concerned as well. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.